Thanks for joining us on the news at this hour. I am Joy Annie. Let's begin with the headlines. Vice President Kashim Shettima applauds Fintiri supporters. Nigeria Labour Congress demands energy sector reforms. Court adjourns El-Rufai's bail hearing to March 31st. And Solid Minerals Ministry records $2.6 billion in foreign investment. And now the news in detail. The Vice President, Kashim Shettima, Senator, has assured Adamawa State Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri and his teaming supporters that they were not joining the All Progressives Congress APC as strangers but as partners on a shared mission to build a Nigeria that works. He said the governor's entry into the governing party field is a reminder that democracy can also be sustained and not only by the people's hallowed mandate. Senator Shettima spoke on Monday in Yola, the Adamawa state capital, when he formally received Governor Fintiri and his supporters into the APC on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Addressing the mammoth crowd that gathered at the Mahmoud Ribadu Square, venue of a ground reception, the Vice President told the new party entrants that their arrival was in alignment with a vision that places Nigeria at the center of governance, as well as a party that understands power is not an end but a responsibility. According to a statement issued by Stanley Wakocha, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communication, Office of the Vice President, in his remark, Governor Fintiri said he joined the APC to realign with the good policies and governance and programs of President Tinubu that were already working, placing Nigeria in the Committee of Great Nations. Now, security presence surged around the Federal High Court in Kaduna today as witness heavily armed personnel of the Department of State Services, Nigeria Police Force, Mobile Police Force, and Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, who had taken position at strategic locations lending to the court complex situated within the old Nigerian Defense Academy following the arraignment of former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai over alleged corruption-related offences. According to Head of Media and Public Relations and Communication, John O'Day, the Commission noted that the former governor would be docked alongside one Joel Adoga in suit number FHC/KD/73/2026. The agency explained that the charges against the defendant include alleged conversion, unlawful possession of public property, and money laundering. It further disclosed that another case marked KDH/KAD/1CPC/01/26 had also been instituted against El-Rufai and one Amadou Sule before Kaduna State High Court. According to the Commission, the state charges border on abuse of office, fraud, intent to commit fraud, and conferring undue advantage. The ICPC said both cases were filed and filed on March 18, 2026, adding that the date for arraignment in the state court would be announced later. The development came amid growing pressure from stakeholders, including the African Democratic Congress, which called for his immediate release or arraignment, describing his continued detention without formal charges as unconstitutional. Now, in a related development, the Federal High Court sitting in Kaduna State has postponed the hearing of the bail application filed by former Governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, to March 31st, 2026. The adjournment followed proceedings on Tuesday, during which both the prosecution and defense presented their arguments before the court. Counsel to the defendant, Ukwan Akpan, urged the court to grant bail, citing his client's constitutional rights and the need to adequately prepare his defense. The opposition, however, opposed the application, arguing that the charges against El-Rufai are weighty and that granting bail could potentially interfere with ongoing investigations. Now, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Ezenwoye Somwike, has reaffirmed the FCT's administration's commitment to strengthening bilateral cooperation with the Japanese government, particularly in the critical areas of urban planning, education, and infrastructure. Speaking during a courtesy visit from a high-level Japanese delegation on Tuesday, the minister lauded Japan's historical role in the design of the nation's capital and expressed a keen interest in modernizing the city's framework to align with current developmental realities. Suzuki Heido, leading the Japanese delegation, highlighted the co-creating a shared future initiative between both nations, especially and emphasizing Japan's multifaceted support for Abuja's growth as a political and administrative hub. While the ambassador noted that Japanese intervention goes beyond traditional infrastructure, touching on innovative sectors like the plastics value chain and startup support. He further extended an official invitation to the minister to lead a high-level delegation to Japan to witness firsthand the systems that could be adapted for the FCT's revolution. Then providing a technical roadmap for this partnership, the chief representative of the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, Nigeria office, Mr. Ishigami Keiji, detailed an ambitious plan to update the 1979 Abuja Master Plan to serve the city's needs until 2050. And millions of dollars in Nigerian power and water sectors is now focusing on visible and rapid results for Abuja. The updated plan will prioritize climate resilience, job creation, and integration of private sector investment into the city's infrastructure. The meeting concluded with a mutual agreement to activate 5 technical working groups comprising JICA experts and FCTA officials. These groups will collaborate on waste management, solar energy for water treatment, and digital learning tools for public schools. This renewed partnership signals a significant shift towards data-driven urban management, ensuring that the renewed hope agenda of the current administration is reflected in the physical and socio-economic landscape of the Federal Capital Territory. Now, the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, has expressed disquiet over the persistent crisis in the power sector. This was made known by the NLC President, Joe Ajero, during a briefing in Abuja. He accused operators in the electricity value chain, particularly distribution, discos and generation GENCOs companies, of benefiting from subsidies and tariff increases while certain citizens pay for darkness. The union rejected the proposed 6 trillion naira bailout for GENCOs, describing it as a temporary fix to a flawed system. The umbrella labor union called for the merger of the ministries of power with that of the petroleum resource into a single ministry of energy. The labor union, it argued also that their separation contributes to inefficiencies, particularly in gas supply for thermal power generation. The labor union sought a review of the electricity tariff regime, calling for pricing tied to service delivery rather than cost-reflective tariffs. Reiterating his opposition to the privatization of the power sector, the NLC said the 2013 reforms has failed to deliver expected results. Now moving on, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the last FCT Area Council elections in Kwali Area Council, Alhaji Muhammad Haruna Pai, had described the appointment of the FCT Minister, Barrister Nyesom Wike, as a blessing to the people of the Federal Capital Territory. Pai, who is the Dan Malikan Pai, stated that after paying Salah homage to the Sadikin Pai, Alhaji Abubakar Sani Pai, as part of activities to celebrate this year's Eid al-Fitr, the Dan Malikan Pai said the FCT has never had it so good, especially in the rural communities, until the appointment of the FCT Minister Barrister Nyesom Wike. While the Pai traditional title holder and politician thanked the FCT minister for his foresight in developing rural communities and also appealed to him to remember the people of Abuja South, particularly in the areas of education and other social amenities. He later called on the teeming youth of Abuja South, especially those in Kwali Area Council, to shun all social vices and embrace education, reminding them that they are the leaders of tomorrow. Now, still on politics, the APC National Chairman, Professor Natanwe Yewazda, and the Chairman of the 2026 National Convention Central Coordinating Committee, former Katsina State Governor Aminu Bello Masari, assured party members that the scheduled APC National Convention will be hitch-free on Saturday. Ahead of the screening of the aspirants for national offices tomorrow, the chairman of the aspirant screening committee, Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyebanji, said the process will be premised on equity and the rule of law. No fewer than 7,200 delegates from the 36 states and FCT are expected at the Eagle Square, Abuja, for the convention. At a program tagged A Walk for Cleaner and Safe Environment, organized by the National Convention Environment and Sanitation Subcommittee, Yewatada said the target of the party is a successful convention. The national chairman, who was represented by the Deputy National Organizing Secretary, Nze Chidi Duru, said APC Wood Oyebanjo, who spoke at the inauguration of the screening committee in Abuja, promised to ensure equity. Senator Uche Ekunife also said that the party is not only prepared for the convention but also prepared for the 2027 general elections. The Deputy Secretary of the committee, former Edo State's Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu, who represented the template for the committee's assignment, said that the committee would be screening 30 aspirants for various offices to make the vetting of aspirants stress-free. Shaibu said the National Working Committee, the NWC positions, have been divided into 3, adding that each group would be screened by a team of selected screening committee members. You're watching ASO Television News. You can watch us live on DSTV channel 392, also on Star Times 7 and Free TV channel 507. We are also on the UHF band on channel 38. Still to come on the news. 10 killed in preventable Niger State crash. To stay with us for this and more after this break.
Some things don't arrive. They've always been. Not for a day, for all of time. Until quietly something shifts. Moving from someday to now. Women are not honored in time. They are woven through it, shaping every story, every voice, every breath. We are because she is, and because tomorrow they will be.
Many thanks for staying there. Now the federal government has shortlisted 65 student innovators from 30,639 applicants across 404 tertiary institutions nationwide for the final stage of the Student Venture Capital Grant (SVCG), a flagship initiative of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu designed to accelerate high-impact student-led ventures and strengthen Nigeria's innovation-driven economy. Announcing the development, the Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Olatunji Alausa, described the initiative as a strategic investment in Nigeria's next generation of innovators and job creators, noting that the outcome reflects the growing creativity and entrepreneurial capacity of Nigerian students. The Student Venture Capital Grant, launched in December 2025 in partnership with the Bank of Industry, provides up to 50 million naira in equity-free funding to support student-led ventures that have reached the commercialization stage. The initiative is designed to enable student entrepreneurs to scale innovative solutions, stimulate job creation, and contribute to innovation-driven economic growth. The selection of the 65 finalists followed a transparent and rigorous multi-stage evaluation process. Application first underwent AI-enabled screening to access eligibility, completeness, and alignment with program objectives, followed by independent human validation to ensure accuracy and fairness. 10 persons have been confirmed dead in a road crash along the Tafa-Gujemi road in the Niger State. The accident, which occurred Monday morning at Malam Tanko, involved a DAF tanker conveying 33 male occupants. According to the Federal Road Safety Corps, 20 persons sustained injuries while 3 others were rescued unhurt. Preliminary investigations attributes the crash to excessive speeding, which led to loss of control, noting the vehicle was engaged in illegal mixed loading, transporting both goods and passengers, a practice it says contributed to the high casualty figure. FRSC officials responded promptly, rescuing 39 victims and evaluating the injured to Umar Musa General Hospital in Sabon Wuse, while the remains of the deceased have been deposited at the hospital morgue. The Corps Marshal Shehu Mohammed described the incident as avoidable and warned motorists against speed violation and unsafe transport practices. He added that the Corps will intensify enforcement and public awareness campaign nationwide while urging drivers and transport operators to comply with safety regulations, stressing that road safety is a shared responsibility. Also, the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Shehu Mohammed, has commended motorists for their involved conduct during the just concluded Eid al-Fitr celebration. The Corps spokesperson, Corps Commander Felicia Kalu, in a statement, said the Corps Marshal also praised FRSC operatives for their professionalism and resilience, noting that their performance contributed significantly to safer highways and better traffic management nationwide. The commendation followed operational reports from supervisory teams deployed across the country, which indicated a high level of compliance by road users during the festive period. While acknowledging minor traffic violations, the Corps Marshal described the overall operation as successful and urged drivers to maintain safe road practices beyond the celebration. He reaffirmed the Corps' commitment to strict enforcement of traffic regulations and called on all road users to see safety as a shared responsibility. Now, Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Dele Alaki, has said that Nigeria has attracted over $2.6 billion in foreign direct investment, that's the FDI, into the mining sector in 2 years. He attributed the growth to improved governance, digitalization of licensing processes, and a crackdown on illegal mining. The minister called on the United States and African countries to establish regional energy hubs as a strategy to accelerate cross-border mining industrialization and secure global supply chains for critical minerals. Alake made a call at the Powering Africa Summit in Washington, D.C. during a high-level panel titled Critical Minerals in Africa, Meeting Global Demand. In a statement by his Special Assistant on Media, Segun Tomori, the minister was quoted as saying that Africa's vast mineral potential can only be fully unlocked through sustainable partnership and integrated infrastructure. He proposed the development of regional industrial corridors similar to the Lobito Corridor, noting that belts such as the Lagos-Abidjan Corridor, spanning Nigeria, Benin, Togo, Ghana, and Cote d'Ivoire, and the Walvis Bay Corridor could serve as economic catalysts for the continent. Alake said the development of the nuclear power in one West African country, for instance, can serve an entire corridor as with that in place. Local beneficiation, technology transfer, multi and manufacturing, and cross-border industrialization will naturally follow. Still on business, the federal government yesterday set a firm tone for the future of Nigeria's pension industry, warning the newly inaugurated board of the National Pension Commission, PENCAM, that any lapse in governance could erode public confidence in over 28 trillion naira belonging to millions of workers and retirees. At the inauguration of the new board in Abuja yesterday, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, delivered the blunt message: safeguard pension funds, respect institutional boundaries, and keep politics out of operation. He said the government expects nothing short of disciplined oversight, transparency, and strict adherence to the Pension Reforms Act 2014. Akume urged the board to tighten internal controls, deepen risk management frameworks, and ensure that every decision strengthens confidence in the system. The SGF also used the occasion to restate the commitment of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration to pensioners, noting that efforts are underway to clear outstanding liabilities and ensure retirees receive their benefits promptly and with dignity. Responding on behalf of the board, Chairman Agbaje Olukayode pledged alignment with the government's expectation and a commitment to strong cooperation governance. The Director General of PENCOM, Omolola Oloworaran, welcomed the board's inauguration as a turning point for the Commission, noting that its absence had left a gap in governance oversight. And now the European Union has announced a fresh €290 million investment package for Nigeria, targeting key sectors including digitization, healthcare, agriculture, and migration management. The announcement was made in Abuja during the 8th EU-Nigeria Ministerial Dialogue, co-chaired by Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister Yusuf Maitama and the EU High Representative Kaja Kallas. A major share of the funding, €131 million, will support digital transformation, including the rollout of 90,000 kilometers of fiber optic cables to expand the internet access and boost digital skills development, while €55 million has been set aside to strengthen local production of medicines and vaccines. Additional investment include €86 million for agriculture to improve cocoa and daily value chains, and €16 million for migration management with a focus on reintegration and tackling human trafficking, bringing total EU support to Nigeria since 2025 to over €962 million. The delegation then continued to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where the European representative, Kaja Kallas, and Foreign Minister, Ambassador Yusuf Maitama signed several memorandum of understanding, leaving both sides review on bilateral relations aimed at strengthening cooperation in areas of mutual interest.
EU's continued support for our economic diversification agenda. We will continue working together to expand trade and investment beyond hydrocarbons, unlocking the potential of agriculture, manufacturing, and digital innovation to create jobs and prosperity for our people.
On economic ties, the EU reaffirmed its position as one of Nigeria's largest trading and investment partners, with over 200 European companies operating in the country. Both parties agreed to expand collaboration between oil into agriculture, manufacturing, and the digital economy. On security, discussions focus was on counter-terrorism, maritime safety in the Gulf of Guinea, and stability in the Sahel region, with Nigeria commending EU support to regional security efforts.
Nigeria Business Forum, which we will organize in Lagos in June, will boost the investments and partnerships between our companies and private sector organizations. We also look forward to negotiating with Nigeria Science, Technology and Innovation Agreement under the Horizon Europe program. And all this is a win for Nigeria, but it's also a win for the European Union. And third, on migration. We have made real progress on the EU-Nigeria readmission agreement to ensure safe and dignified returns of those Nigerians who can no longer stay in the European Union.
On climate change, Nigeria called for a fair and balanced energy transition while raising concerns over the EU's carbon policy and their impact on developing economies. Talks also covered migration, with both sides emphasizing humane and forward-looking approaches alongside progress on a proposed readmission agreement. The dialogue concluded with a renewed commitment to deepen cooperation in critical areas, including security, trade, governance, and sustainable development. Now, the Ikumo Igala organization has demonstrated its unwavering commitment to supporting community development and nation building. The organization's national leader, Major General James Alilu Ataguba, disclosed this during the 500 million naira fundraising dinner held at the Armed Forces Office Mess in Abuja as part of efforts to mobilize resources for community development projects. Our reporter Kabiru Jibril will bring that report. But that's it on the bulletin. But before we go and look at one of our major stories, we told you that the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, has assured Adamawa State Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri and his teaming supporters that they were not joining the All Progressives Congress APC as strangers, but as partners on a shared mission to build a Nigeria that works. That's the bulletin. Thanks for watching. I'm Joy Annie.